Hello, it's Rebecca and today is another book review day and I have been reading The New Girl by S.L. Gray. So I will read you the blurb and then talk to you about the book. There's something strange about The New Girl. Ryan Devlin, a predator with a past, has been forced to take a job as a handyman at an exclusive private school, Crossley College. He's losing the battle to suppress his growing fascination with a new girl who seems to have a strange effect on the children around her. Tara Moraes fills her empty days by volunteering at Crossley College Library. Tara is desperate but unable to have a baby of her own, so she makes reborns, eerily lifelike newborn dolls. She's delighted when she receives a commission from the mysterious Varda Battis, but horrified when she sees the photograph of the baby she's been asked to create. As the new girl's unusual influence continues to spread through the corridors of the school, both Tara and Ryan are being drawn into a terrifying scheme, one that will have an impact on every pupil at Crossley College. Okay, this review is going to be quite twisty and turny because this book is quite twisty and turny. This is the third book in a series. S.L. Gray wrote The Mall and The Ward, both of which I have read and reviewed, so I will leave you links down below to go and look at those reviews, and this is the third one. And if you've read the first two, you will assume that your mind has been twisted and manipulated enough to fully understand the way that S.L. Gray writes. S.L. Gray is two authors, Sarah Lotz and Louis... oh, I can't think of his name. Greenberg, I think. I will check that. Yeah, so you will think that you have gone into the depths of these people's minds and kind of understand where they're coming from. And then this book comes along and blows your mind even more. It's not as good as the other two. It's not as fast-paced and thrilling as the other two, but my goodness, is it strange. So the book's chapters focus on three characters. One of them is Ryan, who works as a janitor, caretaker in a school. Tara, who, as the blurb says, is unable to have children, and in her spare time she makes these weird newborn babies, which is a whole weird thing that I don't fully understand. She also volunteers in the school library, helping children who have special educational needs to read. She is also married and has a stepson, Martin, who goes to this school. And the third character is Penta. And I won't explain about Penta just yet. So, Ryan notices a new girl at the school, and she's a bit strange and she's a bit odd, and the other students don't really know how to behave around her, and she doesn't look normal, and he keeps seeing her everywhere and he has a strange fascination with her. And then Tara meets her when she comes into the library and she needs to choose a book and she can't read, and Tara tries to help her, but then she kind of grows fascinated with this girl. And Ryan, Tara and Penta all end up being connected through this new girl. It's complicated, and I don't want to give too much away because it is really, really interesting and really strange. Penta is the new girl's mother, and Tara meets Penta when she takes the new girl, Jane, home because Jane is wandering around after school and her lift hasn't come. So Tara offers to give her a lift home, and she finds that Penta is also a bit strange and can't quite work it out. Anyway, going on at the same time, Tara receives a message from somebody asking for a newborn baby to be made and offers to pay a lot of money for this baby. So Tara thinks, well, I could do with the money, I'm not working, I'll make this baby. She asks for some pictures of how this baby should look, and when the pictures arrive, she is horrified. I won't say why, but it is very disgusting. Nonetheless, she still says that she will take on the job and make this newborn baby doll thing. Her stepson Martin is not a very nice boy. He's a teenager and he's going through all the obvious teenage angsty type things, and he's rude and obnoxious, and he's not doing well at school, and he treats Tara like rubbish, and he just doesn't care. And then one day he comes home from school with a leaflet for an after school club called Encounters, and he asks if he can go, and Tara says that's okay. And then she notices something strange about him when he comes out of the meeting, and he's turned almost nice and well behaved. And that throws her completely, because how can one meeting just completely change somebody's personality? And he wants to go back, and every time he goes, he comes home slightly more subdued, a little bit off, a little bit upset about things, a bit more emotional than normal, but not in a negative way, in a very strange way. And the book changes. Each chapter is from a different character's point of view, so it's either Tara, Ryan or Penta. And this new girl, Jane, she has a hand in everything. She is strange, and the things that happen around her are strange. And Ryan wants to find out what's going on. Tara wants to find out what's going on, and that leads them both into a world that they do not want to go into. And that's when it gets kind of in the other two books, The Ward and The Mall, the characters start off up at the top of a building. So in The Ward it's in a hospital, and in The Mall it's in a mall. And then they go down and deeper down into these buildings, and there's this whole underworld of strangeness that they're just not prepared to deal with. It is so odd and so peculiar, but the people living in these underworlds find it the most normal thing ever. And those two books were very similar in that respect, whereas this one, everything kind of crisscrosses, but a lot of the elements from the other two books are in here. So if you haven't read the other two, you might not fully grasp what is going on in the more stranger areas of this book. So I would advise you to read the other two, but this one is not in the same vein, and it's not as good. So it's a really weird series of books, but so worth reading. And this one almost ties it together, but it doesn't. It still leaves, there's a lot unanswered, and there's a lot of open doors that you want to go into, but you don't know if you're going to be able to come back out again. So I did enjoy it, not as much as the other two, but it is a good wrap up, kind of. Like I say, there's a lot of unanswered questions, but it does tie together a lot of what's happened in the previous two books. So yeah, I'm torn with this one, but I would say read it, because it's just so weird. It just opens your eyes to a really strange world that may or may not be out there, which is just brilliant. So yeah, read this one, read the other two first, and read them in quick succession as well, because a lot of the elements do flow through the books, even though the stories are all very different. So I did enjoy it, but like I say, not as much as the other two. So if you'd like to hear any of my other book reviews, please subscribe. I put new videos out every time I've read a book. I occasionally do other writing-y bits and bobs and things and stuff. So if you're interested in anything to do with writing and or reading, then please subscribe, and I will see you soon. Have a good day. Bye-bye.